Hey everybody, Brian Von VA here, and if you can believe it, as much as I like trying to be a nice guy, a wholesome guy, there are things that really get under my skin and make me a little bit annoyed. And today, we're going to be exploring that concept in D&D with what is a really annoying character archetype you wish people would just stop playing. And believe me, I've got some of my own. If you have an annoying archetype you'd like to talk about, you can do so in the comments below or on our subreddit r/MrRipper. Okay, this is one I can understand. Main characters that create the spotlight around themselves no matter where they are in the storyline, even if it's not organic. Doubly so if they've hyper-optimized their character and demand to know why having an objectively higher dex than the next player doesn't mean they should be the one to throw the rope or whatever. Triply so if they're a charisma-based character and insist on taking every social interaction. This also goes for people who take the play your bad stats way too literally and screw up important things on purpose. I hate this. Your character knows their competencies. It is not metagaming to play to your strengths. When they are forced into a situation where they cannot rely on their strengths, yeah, play to your bad stats, but don't go out of your way to flaunt them. I get extra bothered and hot under the collar when people get so smug about intentionally messing things up because they were in character. Now, I'm not talking about role-playing your flaws. I'm talking about having a legit superiority complex because you've tried to screw up what the party is trying to accomplish because, that's what my character would do. I was bored and all of you are not entertaining, so I do stupid things constantly at the cost of everyone else character. Yeah, you can also leave the party because we don't want you here. I'm chaotic neutral, so my character can get away with clearly evil acts, but I'm not evil. Okay, Karen. Or conversely, but somehow still the same level of annoying. Ooh. I'm chaotic good, so it's fine for me to break down people's doors if anything else would be a minor inconvenience in my pursuit of good. No, chaotic good means you have a very little or limited regard for the law or legality system, but you're willing to do things for the general good of the public or the people or the world around you. Neutral and the variants therein are basically just saying, I'm putting myself first. And chaotic neutral just says, I'm doubly putting myself first. And they won't do things purely evil or purely good. They just do things strictly for the benefit of themselves or what they deem as important. The ranger who tries to tame every animal they meet to the point they're walking around with a traveling zoo. No, you can't just make one animal handling check and be pals for life with this feral owlbear. That's gonna rip your face off. An adventurer who does not want to adventure. Both ends of the spectrum. The brooding Batman edgelord and the I'm going to refuse to fight pacifist who seems to be trying to get the party killed. Both cause completely unnecessary tension and drama that ends up making the fun of gaming that should recharge people's emotional batteries into such a sink that people walk away feeling like they could have been doing something more worthwhile with their time. People seem to forget that D&D is a social game, and you should walk away at the end of the session like you've just walked out of a movie, where people are smiling and recalling, yeah, and when he said, "No, I am your father," I almost lost my mind. If you're going to be playing an edgelord, it's better to be set up so that you can grow into something, not being an edgelord. And if you're going to be a pacifist, you should actually understand what that means. That doesn't mean you just don't fight. A pacifist is someone who tries to use non-violent ways of settling disputes. That doesn't mean they don't fight at all, that means that fighting isn't their first choice. One of our guys on the MrRipper crew has a pacifist monk who refuses to use lethal force against enemies unless there's absolutely no other choice. But he will knock them out. In his mind, if he knocks them out, they can't fight. Conflict over. That's actually really, really good. We used to have a player who just intentionally made characters to be at odds with our party. He'd almost intentionally kill characters just to create ones with extraordinary ties to the group we just betrayed. Or he'd make an ultra-conservative religious type in a group of morally ambiguous characters who accidentally killed a farmer the first game. He was really close friends with one of our players, so the rest of us didn't want to just flat out alienate him. However, he ended up being asked to leave due to fudging roles and other out-of-character issues. He also had a habit of leeringly hitting on whatever female character was available, no matter who he was currently playing, even when they were in a committed lesbian relationship with each other. I don't miss him, and this narrator doesn't either. The one where the player who was playing in my one-shot asks, "Why the hell are we even here? Why would my character, even care about this?" I don't know, Johanna. I was just trying to make something nice for our friends who don't get to hang out that often anymore, okay? It's just a silly one-shot with cockney bandits, Russian trolls, and hard-boiled retired elf cops. That sounds kind of fun. The only archetype that bothers me is the rogue that steals from the party. Why even show up to a team game? And he's just trying to have like a elitist bragging rights. "Oh, I stole your favorite sword." They're just going to kick your ass and kick you out of the game, both IRL and in-game. It's just all the extremes. You can play a character who is generally pacifistic, but not stupid enough to not hurt gnolls. You can have a flirty bard without them literally hitting on everything. You can run a brooding old hero without them just growling and being angry all the time. Where's the Joker? Where's Harvey Dent? The "I'm so random" moron. That made me chuckle. That guy that ruins every serious scene or diplomacy attempt by making a bad joke or suddenly opening fire during peace talks. I've had one in both campaigns I've been in, and I hate it, especially because the other players aren't manning up enough to do something about it. Ooh, I hate the characters that feel like they can do whatever they want without consequences. Ooh, main character plot armor style? Like, I'm gonna steal from the shopkeep and get offended when they see through my 7 sleight of hand check and threaten to call the guards. Hey, that good old 5-finger discount ain't always gonna work, man. Relatively uncommon if you ask the internet. Okay, you got my attention, but I've had to deal with it twice and am done. The whole, I don't understand my magical powers, so I can't use them in battle or use them wrong. You know, I think I've heard of this before, actually. It's usually a sorcerer or a bard. I've had a sorcerer run and hide the whole fight or say, "I try to cast a spell, but it fails," because they're trying to roleplay their learning of magic in the middle of a fight. The other guy was a bard who kept hitting his team with Thunder Wave, like every turn for a 4-round combat, saying, he doesn't understand that magic will do that yet. It's just so fucking frustrating to be trying to run a serious tactical combat and have people choose to be non-participants in the name of their main character syndrome. One of our guys here plays a character who started out as a sorceress who didn't know she was one. So for the first few times she cast spells, she didn't know she was actually doing it. Now once she figured it out, she was the only one hitting things with lightning, and she started having to roll arcana checks to see if she could cast. Once she passed a couple of those checks, she didn't have to do it anymore. But it was a fun mechanic for first level, but I can see how that might get a little bit irritating sometimes. Characters who try to do everything themselves. Trust me, you're independent and strong, but you don't gotta do it all by yourself, kiddo. The Kender. Oh, don't bully the Kender. Stealing from other players is a no-go from me. I agree. Really, any PvP that is not wanted on both sides is something I try to restrict, but that is getting into player issues rather than archetypes. Yeah, I can understand that. Never been a big fan of horny bard, personally. Similar to the context, the I befriend everything we come across druid. We had a guy up above in one of the other stories that actually talked about rangers doing this. This is one I see referenced so often on Reddit, but have never experienced in real life. It feels like a myth that people have talked about that it became a shared delusional memory. Are you talking about the Mandela effect? Don't start. That being said, I am sure it's just the people who I play with have no interest in this archetype. Same thing about the horny bards, but for a different reason. That whole stereotype has actually bit me in the ass. I tried to play a bard for a campaign, and the DM was so against horny bards that my bard couldn't so much as smile at an NPC without the table going, oh, and groaning and the DM ranting about it. It's called charm. I'm not going to f the bartender. I'm going to smooth talk and act like I'm his buddy to sneak some info out. People can smooth talk without being horny. Luckily, I eventually got to play my asexual bard with a different DM, so I got to actually RP her in social situations without anyone expecting me to fuck the NPC. Any archetype can be annoying if the player behind it is an asshole. I'm not sick of any specific archetype, I'm sick of assholes. You know what? I don't know who posted this, but I'm with you, man. Okay? I'm sick of dumb motherfuckers that try to ruin everybody's goddamn fun because all they want to do is just play the game their way instead of playing with the DM or with the team. When people try to, cute by being incredibly annoying, treating everything like a joke and trying to cause as much chaos as possible and derail any attempt at plot progression, because that's what a chaotic alignment means, right? This is done most often on goblins, but sometimes on kobolds, kenku, or other small races, though it doesn't have to be a small race. I'm really bad at the things I'm supposed to do because, ha ha ha, being really bad at what I do is funny and good roleplay, hee hee hee. When you build a 10 intelligence wizard and specifically pick spells that don't scale with spell DC and basically don't care about that intelligence, that's cool. When you build an intelligence 10 wizard but otherwise get everything but a normal wizard does, you're just an incompetent wizard. And that joke gets old real fast. Honestly, it's not exactly an archetype, but anything that's basically just a joke or a meme or reference. It's funny for a session or two, then it grows really stale. That is such a pet peeve for me. People don't have to optimize, it's a favorite for me, but not for everyone, but at least hold your own weight in the party. Mechanical flaws don't compensate for a PC lacking a compelling concept or having a flat personality. Oh, the Lawful stupid, I will kill all evil no matter what, paladin. I know those types. Had a partial TPK recently because the party paladin picked a fight that was supposed to be a social encounter with a power Zent agent. My group had one player who was the worst version of the nymphomaniac bard. Oh no. He didn't actually know how to play a bard, so he spent every combat trying to drop his pants and Oh, no, that's not real. What? I have a headache. That's not real. He tries to drop his pants and charge dick first at everything we happened across. Are you sure he's not playing a cavalier? A really perverted one? It got to the point where I, in character, had to ask everyone why we let him accompany us when we spent most of our time saving him after he tried to commit sexual assault again. Oh god. Oh, that hurt so bad. Anything with too many pets. We had a necromancer who would double the size of the party and then some, albeit with some very dodgy interpretations of rules as written, and it ended up just not being any fun for anybody. Least of all, me as the DM. So, fun fact, here's a good trick. If you really want to play with a lot of different like minions or pets, if they're all similar in size and scale or type, just lump them together as one ever-growing group that makes one attack roll, one initiative roll, and does a lump sum of damage with a lump sum of HP. At that point, you can just roll like a D8 or something to see which one dies in the group if it ever occurs. That's how I've solved some of those problems before in the past and how a lot of other Redditors have done the same. The Tabaxi, whose only character development is that they are a cat. Wow. This, seriously. Play up the cat mannerisms, sure, but be a person. Hissing when surprised and absent-mindedly licking oneself under the arm when dirty? That's the right level of silly. Doing a bunch of random shit all the time because you're trying to play an actual cat rather than a cat person? Oh god, that's insufferable. Hey everyone, it's me, Brian Von VA, back at it again, making sure to check in after the vid. How's everybody doing? Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and to ring that bell to get posted whenever we go live or post a new video. Now, you can also leave a comment down below telling us anything you'd like, a story, anything. You can tell us about the annoying character archetypes you don't like, or you can go on our subreddit and do much of the same. Alternatively, if you want to come say hi to me too, you can come say hi at brianvonva.com. That's me, the narrator of this lovely, dovely little video. And you can come check out my Twitch too. That's where I mostly encounter most of my friends. Now, I try to end things on a positive note. Have an imagination, and don't worry about that imagination. Have fun making a new character, and don't worry about what you do with that character. Just, try not to ham it up too much. A joke is a joke, and a meme is a meme, and it's fun for a little while, but purposely trying to inconvenience the other players in your campaign is not good. And I know all of you out there are great people, mature people, and I know darn well that you've all encountered this at some point in your life. So, unless your group specifically states that this is all okay and all fun and good, please try to be as considerate as possible to each other, because people are going to be considerate to you too. And you're worth that consideration because, honestly, you earn respect just by being a good person. So all the love to all of you. Please stay yourself, be creative, be good to each other, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.